Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
To the middle of the week. Good morning, 19 minutes after 7 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Wednesday morning. It is May 6, 2015.
Wow.
Thank you for tuning into The Source, WOCA, broadcasting live from the Paddock Mall just outside the WOCA commissary, less affectionately known as the food court.
Yeah.
Where you too can get a bite to eat.
Exactly. They enjoy eating there.
Good morning, Robin. How you doing?
Good. Good morning, Larry.
Got a good morning this morning, and so let's see. 7:35. Interesting thing is in the news that I wanted to share with you. It's a very debatable thing, and I would imagine this is a very emotional, debatable thing. All right. So we learned. How come I got like an echo in my head?
I don't know.
We learned that. Well, Sunday is Mother's Day.
Yes,
and we learned the other day that Saturday is Birth Mother's Day, which I never heard that before.
Yeah.
And birth mothers simply means that if a child was given up for adoption, the birth mother is celebrated on the day before Mother's Day, which is weird. I mean, you're still a mother. Okay, it's all well and good. Well, there are some birth parent rights discussions happening in our country.
Oh my gosh.
Birth parent rights discussions. Now, don't dive into it right now, but I would just want you to know what this is about. And this is only part of it. So let's say a woman gets pregnant, and let's say, because you always bring the father into this, Robin, and I understand why. So let's say both the father of the baby and the mother of the baby say, yes, let's give it up for adoption. And let's get to know the parents who will be adopting our baby now while the woman is pregnant. Okay. And they have a relationship with them, and the two families kind of come together. And you know this has happened. We've known some people who this has happened for and to, or with, or however you say this. Okay, so far so good. No real problem. It sounds like a beautiful thing. And now there's some discussion that the birth parents should have a say-so in the child's upbringing. For example, religion. The parents, the birth parents, the father and the mother, who have decided to give up the child for adoption. In some cases, Ohio is one of these states that is looking at this. They're trying to say that they have a right to say, look, you've adopted our child, but we want him to be raised as a Christian or as a Jew or as a Muslim. Whatever the birth parents want is supposed to be honored by the adopted parents, including non-religion. So let's say the adopted parents are Christian, the birth parents are atheist. According to what the debate is, and of course there's been no decision on this yet, but this is the argument. The birth parents should be able to say, look, you've adopted our child. We want you to make sure he or she doesn't get exposed to any religion. It is just, to me, it's a little overboard.
It's very overboard.
And hold on to your thoughts about this, because I want to do this at 7:35. It's just an unbelievable debate. I never thought I would see something like this, but it is in the news.
Nuts.
So We'll do that at 7:35. 8:35, that's when we turn off our opinion. That's when we simply read the news. We will take the news and we will shorten it. That's why that segment is called News Bites. 9:05, Adar Cohen is coming on. I don't know that I'm pronouncing Adar's name correctly. But Adar is an educator, an organizer, a researcher in the areas of conflict resolution, which sounds like what we're talking about here.
That's right.
Youth empowerment, nonviolent social change. Wow, this goes on and on and on. He's written a book called Jimmy, Lee, and James, 2 Lives, 2 Deaths, and the Movement That Changed America. It's an actual historical book about Bloody Sunday that took place March 7th, 1965.
Yep. Exactly.
Laura Burns not coming in this morning, but
Nope.
it's her segment, Career Source. She has asked Dale French to come in. Dale's been with us before. He's the Director of Program Development for Career Source, Citrus Levy Marion, and they have invited a guest from CITAL, which is a worldwide leader of customer experience management. In other words, there will be some jobs that you will find out about on today's show at 9:35.
Yep.
From Career Source. So if you're looking for a job or you know somebody who is, listen, take notes, and of course we do record these things so you can share the video with the person you have in mind. Matt Wilkerson will be in at 10:05. Matt's a delightful guy. He knows his stuff when it comes to wireless communications.
Oh, yeah.
So I got a few questions of my own. I'm thinking of upgrading for what I have, so they could do some of the things that everybody else is doing.
Yeah, like my son and your son. They're
Everybody
cutting
else,
edge, you know.
John Fuller at 10:35. He's an attorney here in Ocala at the law firm of Fuller and Fuller. The show is called Legally Yours, and he does the show so he can answer your legal questions and set you on the right track in case you need to go to court or just to see a lawyer about something. Anthony James at 11:20. He is our voice of travel. He's our travel expert. He'll tell us what we need to know about hitting the road. And I was watching an interesting video last night about Amtrak. I'm really a nerd when it comes to this Amtrak stuff.
Amtrak.
You know the
cool.
the trains that take the long distance rides out west
Yeah.
are more likely to be double decker, and the trains that do
Really?
the long distance rides in the east are more likely to be single decker, whatever you call it.
Oh, yeah, because that's like north to south, and it's more dangerous for double probably because of the
Oh wow!
of the
So you
terrain.
didn't? I didn't even. I don't know.
I'm just
Well, you would
guessing,
think
but-
there's a lot of mountains out in the Rockies. I don't know.
Yeah, but you're going east to west, and you're kind of like,
What?
you know,
I'm confused. What you're thinking?
that's what I'm thinking. You're going to.
All right.
I don't know.
on
I have no clue.
Fun with Joe today. You know what today is?
It's the day after Cinco de Mayo.
Today is National Crepe Suzette Day.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we have to go to find some crepe Suzettes. and
It's
have that for
also
lunch.
National Bike to School Day. So take your bicycle to school.
And get a lock.
Good luck.
Don't ever leave
It's
it
also
unlocked.
National Nurses Day and National School Nurses Day. So National Nurses Day today. I have for you and Joe the quiz, the test, or a sample test that is taken by people, men and women, who want to become, I should say women and men because it's mostly women, who want to become nurses' aides. The nurses' test was way too hard.
Okay, so this is the nurse's
Aid test. And this nurse's aid test is hard too. I'm not trying to belittle the test or the position of a nurse's aide. The nurse's aide, I've watched nurse's aides. They are
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah, but if you're a nurse, you've got all that technical stuff and
Yes.
everything. I would have no clue because it is a profession.
So I have the
lot of school.
National Nurse Aid Assessment Program test. I will give it to you and Joe. And just so you don't worry a whole lot about it, it is multiple choice. Okay? So
Okay.
it is multiple choice. And so you'll have a chance to answer and either get it right or wrong, and then the other one can pick an answer and get it either right or wrong.
Okay.
And if 2 shots you don't get it, then I'll just have to tell you or let the listeners tell you.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Fun. On the segment we do with Galen Unold, you might be too old for for social media. If. So I have the top 10 things that will indicate that you might be too old for social media if you fill in the blank.
Okay, I like that.
You might be too old for social media. Almost everybody I know on social media is probably too old for social media.
Yeah.
But see, the key to this, I think, is the fact that if all the people I'm communicating with on Facebook, for example, are kind of my age, with
Yeah.
with a few exceptions, then I'm in the right crowd.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I'm not really too old if I'm with the right. If I'm communicating all the time with 20-year-olds, then I'm in the wrong crowd.
Exactly.
I mean, if they're family, it's different. Hey, Uncle Larry.
Right.
Whatever. But anyway, so.
It's like giving a party. You know who to invite to
Yeah.
have a successful party.
Oh, wow.
You know who not to
It's
invite.
good to you for that. The Orlando Eye opened up 2 days ago. I forgot to tell you this when it opened up. Did you know that one of the first passengers they call those things gondolas, by the way.
Okay, I never knew what they were called.
The Orlando Eye gigantic Ferris wheel, 400 feet tall, takes 20 minutes, and I guess you go around one time.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
One time, it takes 20 minutes to do the whole thing, and you're in a gondola. I don't know how many people can sit in the gondola, but it's air conditioned, and it's if you haven't seen it, it looks similar to the London Eye, but I think the gondolas are smaller.
Oh, okay.
In the Orlando Eye.
So do you stand in them, or is there a seat? In
I think
them,
it's.
or-
I think you sit.
Oh,
Yeah, I think you sit down. I think. I'm not sure. We'll find out one day.
Yeah, I
But
wanna
anyway,
go.
one of the first passengers was a young girl who they had a soft opening. Mm-hmm. I think it was the day that the Walenda guy walked on top of it. I think that
okay.
day they had a soft opening. They had a few people ride it. And the
okay.
first person was a girl with leukemia. I guess she was one of those. But she's going to be okay, it said. They say she's going to be
God.
okay.
thank God.
All right, and then I guess the last thing before we hit this button, golf cart crashes are on the rise in the villages.
I heard your news.
Now they're trying to decide what to do. Golf carts apparently have no speedometer. Is that right? I didn't know this.
I agree with that. I've not seen speedometers.
So they couldn't put up a speed limit sign, and they were trying to should we put a line down the middle of the golf cart
Now that
trails,
is
or should we put edge lines and keep them in single file?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Steve Rappaport. U.S. officials say it's too soon to tell if ISIS carried out the attack near a Mohammed